Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle, the 7-Figure Nurse Investor, where you get to come with me on my journey to 7 figures and beyond. So today we're going to talk about retirement accounts. So there's a couple different ways you can have a retirement account. One is by employer-sponsored retirement accounts, which are pretty much self-explanatory. They are from your employer. And the others are self-contributing retirement accounts. Again, self-explanatory. By you contributing yourself, this is how you're going to grow this type of retirement accounts. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first one we're going to talk about is a 401k. A 401k is usually employer sponsored, which means it's set up by your employer and you are able to contribute directly from your paycheck to your retirement account through your employer. A lot of times a match is offered with this type of retirement account, which is amazing because it's free money. So as long as you're contributing to the account, your employer will have a preset match percentage, either 2, 3, 4, or 5%, in which they'll contribute to your match, to your contribution. For this account, you have a $19,500 limit for 2020. And as far as your withdrawals, you're able to withdraw at 59.5 without any penalties. Prior to 59.5, you will have penalties or you can incur a loan in which you'll have to pay back. But up until 59.5, you can start to get withdrawals. But however, at the age of 70, withdrawals become mandatory. In this account as well, you'll have limited investment offerings. Your employer set up different accounts, different funds that you can invest in within this retirement account, so you're not able to invest in single stocks or other index or mutual funds that you found prior. But you will have a set of different funds that you can invest in preset by your employer, so there's limited investing involved in a 401k. The tax benefits for 401k is that your contributions go in before they're taxed. So this is a tax deferred contribution. However, when you're withdrawing your money at 59.5 or 70, whichever in between, you are taxed at the money then. The thinking behind this is that you, in your working life and in your early life, you'll be at a higher tax bracket than you will during your retirement. So you'll reap the benefits of not getting taxed in your higher working life, but you'll get taxed on withdrawals during your lower working life. So you'll get to pay more taxes, theoretically, based on the 401k. The next we'll talk about is a 403b. A 403b is much like a 401k in that it is employee sponsored. However, it is for non-for-profit organizations such as schools and hospitals. 403bs operate by the same metrics as a 401k. You can also reap the benefits of a matching if it's offered by your employer for your 403b. And you also have the income limit or the contribution limit of $19,500. You also have the limitations as far as your investing, and you're also limited as to when you can withdraw. 59.5 without any penalty and 70 mandatory withdrawals when it comes to your 403b. This is also a tax deferred contribution, which means that you contribute before you pay taxes on the money, and a taxed withdrawal, which means you will be taxed on the money when you're withdrawn in your retirement life. If you do decide to get a withdrawal before you're 59.5, you will reap a tax penalty of around 20%. So kiss 20% of that money goodbye just by not waiting until you're 59.5. However, there are certain cases in when you can withdraw the money. Buying a house is one, I believe. I will contact your 401k or 403b provider to figure out which cases they are. Let's talk about the 457. Much like the 401k and 403b, the 457 operate again by the same metrics as the others. The 457 is also employer sponsored, usually by governmental agencies, and they sometimes offer a match. Again, you'd have to check with your employer to see if they offer a match program. Your contribution limit, again, for the 457, much like the 403b and the 401k, is $19,500. As well as your limited investment opportunities, because they usually leave you a fund in which you can invest in, and then you're able to choose from that fund. But single stocks and other funds, you're not able to do so. The wonderful thing about the 457b is that you can take withdrawals before you're 59 and a half, no tax penalty. The only thing is that you would have to have separated yourself from the institution in which you're contributing your 457b. So essentially, you would have to have quit that institution, and then you're able to start getting withdrawal at no tax penalty before 59 and a half. So if you're looking for an early retirement vehicle, the 457 is definitely key in which you can use for your retirement goals. The next one we're going to talk about is the Roth 401k. So the Roth 401k, it's much like the 401k. It is an employer-sponsored retirement vehicle. It also can offer a match. You'd have to talk to your employer to see if they do have a match program for this particular account. And you also have the contribution limitations of $19,500, much like the other 401k. You'll have the same withdrawal limitations of 59 and a half with your Roth 401k. The one major difference between the Roth 401k and the 401k is that with a Roth 401k, you're contributing your money after taxes. That's a little different than the other vehicles we've spoken about prior, which were tax deferred. When you contribute after taxes, when you get your withdrawal, you're of course getting that money tax free because you've already paid money on those taxes. So with the Roth 401k, when you're making your contributions and you're able to withdraw your money at 59 and a half, much like the other 401k, you'll make these withdrawals tax free because you've already been taxed before the money went into this account. The next retirement vehicle we'll talk about is the traditional IRA. Now, all brokerage houses offer traditional IRA, and usually you'll open the traditional IRA on your own, and if you're interested in doing any rollovers for your other retirement accounts from past employers, you would roll it into a traditional IRA. Now, you can contribute to your traditional IRA on your own. This is a self-contributing retirement account. The contribution limit for 2020 is $6,000. Now, if you're over 50, you'll have catch-up contributions of $1,000, which means you'll have a $7,000 limit for 2020 when it comes to the traditional IRA. The next IRA we're going to talk about is a SEP IRA, which is much like a traditional IRA. In a SEP IRA, these are usually offered to employers and employees of small businesses. So even if you're a small business owner, you're able to take advantage of the SEP IRA. Much like I said before, like a traditional IRA, this has the same contribution limit of $6,000. It also has the same withdrawal criteria as the traditional IRA, needing to be 59 and a half when you start to take withdrawals. However, one special thing about the SEP IRA is that your employer is able to contribute up to $57,000 into this account. So ask your tax accountant or your IRS agent how this works and how you might be able to get benefits from this particular SEP IRA. You'll also make contributions tax deferred, which means that you are not taxed when you contribute the money. However, when you make withdrawals, that's when you'll get taxed on the money. The next one we'll talk about is a SIMPA IRA. Much like a SEP IRA, a SIMPA IRA is also for small businesses, usually with employees of less than 100. So with SIMPA IRAs, you also have the ability to have match, much like the SEP. So with SEP and SIMPA, you're able to have the benefits of employee match. You have a $13,000 limit if you're under 50, with an additional $3,000 to contribute if you're over 50. Much like with the other IRAs, this is also tax deferred contribution. You don't pay taxes now, you'll pay it later whenever you withdraw. We're going to take just a little time to talk about the other types of IRAs I found. You have a spousal IRA. So in houses where you have a couple that is filing jointly, so you can't be married filing separate, you have to be filing jointly, in which you're able to contribute up to $6,000 for a non-working spouse. You also have stock ownerships or stock option types of retirement plan. Much like is self-explanatory, it is when you're getting ownership in the company through stocks, or where you're having the option to buy into the company through the stock option process, which is sometimes sold to you at a discount. You also have a self-directed IRA, and what's awesome and amazing about self-directed IRAs is that you can own real estate and commodities and not just stocks and bonds, much like most retirement accounts have. That's all I have for you today. I hope you learned something. If there's any questions you have, please comment below. I'll be more than happy to answer. If you have any video ideas, also comment below. I'll be more than happy to make a video. Until next time, you have a great day and keep your eye on your money.